Hello everyone, on today's IRS Tax Refund update, as we're 1 week away from the start of the new tax season, we'll take a look at the current backlog of tax returns impacting those still waiting on their 2022 tax refunds, and we'll check in on those amended returns as well. We'll also look at the release dates for the next round of tax refunds for this week. Meanwhile, as we get closer to the start of the new tax season, a key reminder for those of you claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit and or Child Tax Credit, also important notice for those of you under audit, and an update to those tax brackets now in effect. Now, the IRS remains behind in providing recent updates on the current tax return backlog, but as of their latest update, there's still nearly 2 million individual returns from 2022 that need processing. We expect once a more recent update is released, that a majority of the remaining backlog paper returns will be processed and cleared out before the start of the new tax season, which will be next week. For those waiting on those amended returns, as of the latest update from the IRS, the current backlog at 454,000 unprocessed amended returns. Now, we believe as of today that number is around the 375,000 range. Those returns continue to be processed at a much slower rate than regular tax returns and are not fully expected to be completed until after the start of the new tax season. As a reminder to check the status of amended returns on the Where's My Amended Returns section of the IRS website and not the regular Where's My Refund site. The next round of refunds are scheduled for release this week, starting off with those direct deposit refunds, which will be transmitted by the IRS to banks nationwide on January 18th. Now, if you're part of this refund batch, do allow up until January 23rd to receive that in your bank account. And for those of you waiting on paper checks, the next batch will be mailed out by the IRS on January 20th, and do allow 7 to 10 business days to receive that. As we approach the start of the new tax season, a reminder for those of you claiming either the Earned Income Tax Credit or Child Tax Credit on your taxes that the IRS will not begin to process your tax returns until mid-February, even if you submit those taxes on the first day of the tax season due to federal law. So we're not anticipating the first batch of refunds from tax returns claiming EITC or CTC to be released until late February. Also, for those of you claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit and or Child Tax Credit, you may be seeing smaller refunds this year compared to last year because changes in the tax law that drop the maximum amount per dependent from $3,600 to $2,000 for tax year 2022 for CTC. Meanwhile, for those claiming EITC with no children, you will now see $500 instead of $1,500, and child and dependent care credits see a massive drop from the maximum of $8,000 to just $2,100. Another recent change to the 2023 tax filing season is for those of you who are preparing to report income from 1099-Ks this year. Due to the recent change in the tax law, anyone who earned over $600 from the sale of goods and services online and through PayPal, Venmo, eBay, Etsy, were to receive this 1099-K form to use to report to the IRS. This was, as we reported, likely to cause significant issues this tax season. However, the IRS has announced that the 1099-K reporting at the $600 threshold will not take effect this year as planned, and that the old rules will remain in place, those of which require those who earn over $20,000 and more than 200 transactions to report that income. We also still have reports of viewers encountering the 570 and 971 codes on their tax transcripts as seen here. Impacted taxpayers will fall into one of two categories. If the 570 and 971 codes list the same date, that means the IRS has autocorrected the tax return and is cleared for the refund for issuance. Or if the dates list separate dates, that means the IRS continues to work on the issue and may require documentation from you to continue processing. For some taxpayers under audits, do be prepared to receive the letter 525M in the mail as seen here. The letter will detail the reasons behind the changes, and you must sign and date and mail back the form if you agree with the changes before you can receive that refund, which will happen within 8 weeks, as long as you don't owe any other taxes or debt the IRS is required to collect. If you do not agree with the changes that took place under the audit, you can dispute the changes using Form 14817. Also, a reminder, effective January 1st, the federal income tax brackets have been adjusted, so this will be the brackets for tax year 2023 to be filed next year. All tax brackets are seeing some sort of change compared to tax year 2022. For example, for our viewers in the 12% bracket, you can now earn an additional $2,950 a year and remain in the same tax bracket if you're a single filer, which prevents you from being placed in the higher 22% bracket for income over that limit. Let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax refund issue. In the meantime, we'll keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.